called a stout roofer. You know, use it on forms, you know, to make it where the hide paste will be real good and adhesive. That eats up quite a bit. That's a good starting point before we go to like use maybe some coarse sanding paper or something. You know, I've used this a lot like doing fish bodies and stuff. But it's kind of like a coarse sanding block or coarse sandpaper work. But you want to make sure there is nothing that's going to show through the Naugahyde, you know, like a big bump or something. Stuff like that's an easy fix. You just glue on a piece of foam and shave it down with your sanding block. I've got a bunch of it, you know, little extra pieces. And I save it for just for reasons like this. You know, where it's been like shaved off a little bit or something, or broke off or something. And that way you can put your contact cement on there and put it, one side goes on that, the other side goes on the contact cement. And when you put them together, it won't come off. It's like you do with the glue in the back of a fish fin or something. It's the same thing. Yeah, I was just thinking it's probably not a bad idea to do this before you even, you know, mount your skin to the form and everything. You know, part of your form prep. You go ahead and not only sand the back. Good thing I've done this because I've noticed I've got a piece of foam missing here. I'm going to have to glue a piece of foam on there and carve it down and make it fit. Won't be hard at all. Looks like just a break or something, but that's an easy fix. But it doesn't hurt to even get your outline with your poster board and do all that stuff right now also. And I'll probably go ahead and outline my poster board. Put it right here in the corner. Put a couple of pins in it. When I say poster, what I'm getting at is, you know, any kind of paper that you're going to use to, let me get that down a little bit. Any kind of paper you're going to use for, you know, a template for your Naugahyde later. I'd definitely go ahead and get a good start on it. Maybe put a couple of pins into the back of it. And I think you kind of roughly get the idea. It's kind of dish bowl, so you want to make sure you get in those little dish bowl corners for a more accurate cut, I guess you could say. Here. There. I'd rather have it a little bit too big than a little too short. I'll turn around here in a second and you'll see exactly what I'm doing. Well, you kind of see what's going on. Give me a good old Sharpie pen, kind of go maybe even a little oversized. Where that Naugahyde is going to be a perfect representative of the shape that you've got. So, kind of like the same thing I do when I'm carving a fish body. You just want to make sure you get everything like it needs to be. We got a little bit of foam broke off right there, but here we are with this, with that. We want to go. Make sure we have enough for that. Well, this has a little bit of a flat area too. Wow. Okay, but you go like that. There's the wood. That's the wood. Not so worried about that, but here again. We got our outline and we just cut it out. Just like you do when you're making a mount or copying a fish body. You know, tracing it. When you're tracing the fish body, same thing. That's what we got going on right now. So we're tracing the form that's going to get the Naugahyde, the back of the deer form. So we take our pins out, and we just cut it out. Perfect representation. The Naugahyde does have some stretchability, which helps in case you're a little bit off somehow. It happens. And it helps to have a little bit of helping hand in one way or another, and that's one of them. The fact that it gives a little and stretches a little. So there you go. And we got here that kind of laps over the edges a little bit, which kind of hides a little bit of defect, you know, if you don't get something exactly perfect, but try your best. Because it'll look good at the end. You know, it's the little stuff along the way that you do that makes a difference in how it looks at the end. I hope you know what I mean there. The bad stuff can add up, but the good stuff adds up too. Like, you know, where you pay attention to detail along the way to make sure things look right. Pays dividends in the end on the quality of your mount, how it looks. You know, that's the artistic aspect of it. But now we got an outline. Now we can trace this over on our Naugahyde and then cut out our Naugahyde. Well, here you can see I'm just kind of rough cutting. Some of this stuff's still a little soft. I may have to re-glue and re-pin some of this stuff. It's on pretty good. That's holding pretty good right there. But down in here, probably need to pin and re-glue a little bit. But yeah, I want to get all the big stuff out of the way, and then I can start doing the little minute stuff. You know, trimming up and all that stuff. Right in here, I'm pretty good, but even there, I'm sticking out just a hair bit. I could flush that up. See, the good thing about it is, well, shoot, I still got pins in there. But you can see I got pins in the side, and that's kind of holding that headlock. The headlock's real good stuff. And what it does, it holds stuff, keeps it from coming out. See, I want to trim it up just flush with the foam, so I need to trim that just a little more with just the very edge of my X-Acto knife blade. This dry preserve gets hard, plus this was a tough old buck to begin with. Had some freezer burn issues, didn't know if I could use it. But, you know, I'm stubborn, and I can use it. So, that's what I got. This side right back here don't matter so much. But you're definitely, by the time you get down to where the... Well, all this is kind of going to show, except the wall side's not going to show. Really. So, I guess you could go down to about where the end, where the wall starts, yeah, all this. I got some work cut out for me. I got to fix this up too a little bit. You know, you staple it up around the back. That's the side that would usually hang up against the wall. But this is a little bit different mount. So it's going to create a little bit of an issue for me. He's going to look good though. He's going to look all right. You like him right in here. All this is coming off. Helps to have a sharp knife. But I'm real far away from the corner, from the edge. So I know all this can just, you know, come right off. I know all that can just come right off. A little hard cutting. Well, you can see this is a little bit rubbery right here. So I may let this dry a little bit longer before I attempt to cut too much. Still really soft, I guess is what I'm getting at. But I'll get back with you in about a week. He'll be good and ready to finish out then, that's for sure. Yeah, he's still really kind of soft. I'll put more of that glue there and then repin it or something. I'll take care of that, and I'll get back with you here in about a week. I didn't shoot no staples to the back of here. I didn't buckle the skin around. I did on the bottom, but I probably shouldn't even have done that. But I use Hyde paste. Hyde paste is the only thing really gluing it. And headlock. I use headlock, which is good for the other parts of the body too, not just the head. But not sure if you can see it real good, but I got pins, and all I gotta do is take them out, and no harm done. You'll never see where the pins have been. There's so much hair right here that it's ungodly. So basically, I'm just taking all these pins out. We can kind of get a glimpse from this view. It's not the best view. The best view would be a side view, but you get the idea. You want to cut it flush with the foam. Don't cut any hair except what's going to come off of that skin that's flush with the, with your foam backing. You're going to have plenty of hair to cover that. Now I've seen other videos on here that show this, so I almost didn't want to show it because I didn't think it really had to. I mean, it's on YouTube. Other taxidermists and where they've done this before. And so I'm just like, well, probably don't need to really be showing it then. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. I would try to use just the point as much as possible to not cut off any excess hair. For the simple reason that that'll cover up, your borderline real good. Where your Naugahyde ends, your skin starts, and you can trim it up a little bit later too, but it definitely does help to have a sharp, brand new blade, it seems like. But this gets you where you gotta go, and then you can always, trim it up a little bit better. So I'm getting close, but I guess because of the thickness of the blade, I'm still going in at an angle and kind of leading a little bit. But at least I have a little more control and can trim it up and all that stuff. So this is kind of like my first run, I guess is the right word. Definitely helps, especially on the dry preservative. Really on the dry preservative, having a new blade, good Lord, it does. The skin gets harder than what it would be if it was tanned. It'd be a lot different. We'd be having a whole different discussion right now, if you know what I mean. And doing this with the dry preserved skin, not easy. I've got some stuff right here. Looks like 2 pieces. I've never used this. It was the wrong color. I wanted gold and I got this copper color. But it'll work good with that dark tan colored Naugahyde. It's like a deep rich brown colored Naugahyde that I'm going to use. So between that and that, of course I have to take that black tape off, but between these, it's got clear tape on this side, and it'll be enough. It'll be good enough for what I'm charging. And what this does is it'll go around the border, and you're going to have your Naugahyde in the middle, and it's going to be kind of tan colored. Yeah, you can see that overhang right there. All that has to be cut flush with a razor blade or an X-Acto knife or something. yeah, you just want it to cut flush, you know, with the back. And it's got to be done a little bit through there. I've done a little bit of it right here, but that could be done better. You see what I got to do. All this contraption here where I put pins in. And some staples in places. Just to get the hair to hold here on the back. And it's going to get Naugahyde over it anyway. So, just pull out my T-pins. Even my staples. Get those suckers out. Pry them out with a screwdriver. Tends to work good for me. See here, I'm pulling down on the skin. And it's hard to see, but I just run my blade along the skin. And it's just coming right off. I'm even sawing it. Do a little bit of a sawing motion. Just right flush with the form. You got so much hair overlapping that it's gonna hide a lot of stuff, you know, that they might would look up super close or whatever. If you get a lot of dusting or dry preservative powder and stuff in there, blow it out with something. Eventually you're going to do the whole deer anyway, but yeah, just it helps keep the dust out of the way so you can see what's going on. It's a little more tricky down here around the brisket. So I'm still not trying to cut any extra hair, just the skin. Just the very tip of my knife. You can see how it's kind of going around, and basically just want to cut to the skin. I guess the positive note is the skin is real thin in the brisket area, so it doesn't take much force, I guess is the right word. So it's coming right up, in other words. See, kind of. Occasionally I'll run into an extra staple I got to pop out or something. It helps get those staples out of the way and those pins, because, yeah. Kind of coming along here, just coming right off. But do the best you can do. That's all we can do. And it'll look good. They're along that skin. Looking pretty good. That's the brisket area here. Coming up real nice. These pliers seem to work good. You know, get the skin to bend back, and then I can get right there at that angle. You know, right there where the skin starts to go over the form, and I can level it off right there at that corner. See how that's coming up? That's how a good way to do it right there. A little bit more awkward than I should be for the camera, but for the sake of the camera, you get the idea. So it just wants to come up. Look at that. Oh yeah. get the idea. Now just trace it out. Technically all this that is the Sharpie pen is going to be cut with the scissors anyway. So that's what I'm shooting for anyway. Got this traced out. I will have enlarged it once or twice, a little bit, you know, from what it was. So scoot it over a little bit on me. Oh well. There we are. So now we just try to do a real good job tracing this guy out. Without the, you know, Sharpie pen part showing, if we can keep from it. I'm going to do a real good job cutting this out, and I'll show you what we have after I get it done. I'm just going right along my own tracings, getting right on it actually, because the best way for the white marks not to show is go ahead and get right on it. I got my contact cement, Weldwood DAP contact cement, and I'm just going to brush it on. One on the back of the deer, and then one coat on the back of this felt, and it should give me what I'm looking for. Try to be as neat with it as I can, because I know what happens if you know, if you're not. So try to get right up to the corners, but I don't want it on the other side if I can keep from all possible that happening. Definitely want to get right down here. To me, the most crucial part is the brisket area, getting it accurate. And I'm going to get this glue all the way to the end. And that's, to me, that's the most crucial part, without making a mess and getting it on the other side. I've done it, but it's been a while. It's been a few days. So it's almost like just being new at it, really, to be honest with you. Yeah, if I start moving it around or stuff, the corners are going to get, on the other side, are going to get that contact cement on it. So I want to be careful about moving it a lot, if you know what I mean. You can see where I've got a little bit of glue on the cardboard. Well, that will transfer to the other side if I move it a whole lot. So I want to be neat with moving it, if you know what I mean. And the good thing is, while this is sitting and packing up, then I'll be getting the back of the deer for them. A little bit goes a long ways, but on this felt, it's absorbing this contact cement, which, like if I was making a rug or something, You know, you'd want that contact cement and that felt to connect real good. So this is all good. That's what I'm getting at. Key. I'll go ahead and finish that and just let it sit right where it's at. I'm just going to let that sit and tack up for a little while, and in the meantime I'll be putting it on the back of the deer. Bought me a little extra contact cement because it looked like I was going to need it, and I may be right. But see, I'm going to go right here. I guess try to be neat with as much as possible. Looks like it's easier said than done. Got little contaminants here and there. Put a bit of foam or something. Just make sure your hair is out of the way. I guess that's the main thing. And try to run this stuff up as close as you can, I guess. You know, try not to get it on the hair. I know that's easier said than done. Yeah, the center is going to be no problem. Like right in here. Basically all the way up into, yeah, the farthest extremity where you know it's going to go. You want that contact cement. All the way up to the very edge, and the very edge even entails, you know, a little bit of the skin, you know, to go for a real good fit. You know, you got your form, then you got a little bit of your skin there, so you want it to, I guess you want it to hit that too, that skin just a little bit, because that's where it's going. That's where your Naugahyde's going. I know it's got felt on one side. I guess technically, you know, some people will go with just putting felt. They probably just do the felt side and put glue on the leather side. You know, that's entirely possible. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm letting the brush, you know, like if you were painting the corner in a house and you were using your brush, you know, you get the corners to kind of, you get your corners to kind of mesh it with the corner by, you know, turning your brush a certain way. Kind of the same thing. You can see how I got all that. And, well, it's a good thing I bought some extra contact cement because, yeah, we are out. I figured it was going to happen. So, it's great that I pre-planned. Yeah, this contact cement, same stuff. It's that DAP Weldwood. This one comes with its own internal brush, which is cool. I like that. That's another thing that comes in handy. I know it's a lot of little hairs kind of in the way. It's probably not a bad idea to snip those suckers off. Here's a few. Snip those bad boys off. I'm just making sure this is all over. You know, for a good grab. There's one a little bit down there so that stuff will hold. Of course, with our warm weather, it won't take this long to tack up really good and be ready to go. So I'll just give it a little bit, and we'll be ready to put everything together. Having a problem with this stuff trying to bend over on itself, you know, as the contact cement dries. So that's not helping. But let's see, I definitely want to start with the corners here. Okay, the corners are trying to fold in on themselves. That ain't no fun. I knew I was going to run into having to cut some more of it off. I know that. So this is going to be a challenge anyway. Now there's an indented area. So the indented would definitely require a little bit of work. It's hard to see. You can't really see what's going on right now. But it's basically making it fit maybe where it didn't fit before. Is the right word? I don't know. I may have to end up cutting more off. Definitely. I guess it's also smart not to underestimate the little indention in it. That indention is going to take up, you know, where it's dish fold down in there. That is going to take up quite a bit. And I probably have to end up cutting a little more off, which I knew I was going to run into that. Most assuredly. Basically, I'm trying to roll out any wrinkles. Wrinkles don't look good. If you can keep them out. Yep. If I can work any wrinkles out towards this back here, that's the best scenario. Well, some of that's going to work up into here. Oh well. A little roller of sorts, yeah, that really helps too, you know. Maybe try to get some of that out. Thank God a lot of it does roll out, I guess is the right word. We've got a little bit of a wrinkle issue, but I'll be working on this. You know, as it dries, that ought to come out. So I'll keep working on that. Other than that, it's in there pretty good. I'll let it dry pretty good. But I'll keep an eye on that. A lot of trimming to do. Especially up in here, it's overlapped. It's on the hair. So I've got to do a lot of trimming up here. And a little trimming back here. Definitely don't like those wrinkles showing, so I'm definitely going to try to get those out. Now this hair is sticking a little bit, not bad. In other words, you know, you can just kind of brush it back a little bit. Contact cement was pretty much dry when I put it on there. But, you know, if you got it on both sides and put it together, it will stick. So, you want to try to, I don't know how good you can see it. You can actually feel it. I get my blade just enough to cut through that leather. You got the hair going over. You see how I'm just trimming it flush with the skin. I can feel the end of the skin right there. So I know I can go right here and cut. Have good results. What it is you can see I can see the outline where the skin is, so I know exactly where to make my cut. And just going through the Naugahyde, not anything else. Hard not to be in the way. You can see where it's peeling up. I'm trying to be as neat as possible, but easier said than done. Here's where it goes. Making an imprint, I guess, is the right terminology. I know where the bend is, you know, where the edge of the form is. So I'm just making a little bit of a outline cut, I guess is the right word. Kind of hard to do it without getting in the way of the camera, unfortunately. Unless there's like an extreme side view or something. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. Good. I'll just continue with that and you'll see what I got. Well, this is what I kind of got. Hopefully I got enough of this to go around. I hope I do. I'm going to find out. It's going to be close. So what I'm going to do is just hot glue around these corners and try to cover up some of these impurities that are showing through, which it ought to do nicely. Just hot glue a little bit of trim around there. I think some of the trick is making sure that hair stays out of the way. You know, that it tries to get in the way a little bit. So it don't take much, that's for sure. A little of this goes a long way. And thank God for that. A little bead here and there. Slowly work it as you go. Watch for the spider webs that the glue guns want to make. These corners can be tricky. Kind of nudge up against the hair, you know. And they got a lot You got a lot of decorative trimming you can make. It's not just this stuff. So definitely want to cover that. Kind of helps you cover up bad spots too. In all honesty, it does help you cover some bad spots. Kind of a bad spot right here, right there. I'm going to take more off than you can handle at one time, with this stuff. But there we are. I guess the idea is to get right up on the edge where it's, not very noticeable. You just take off little increments at a time. That way, you're putting it, right where you want to put it. Well, here's what we got so far. You can cover up a lot of maybe impurities or something. There's some wrinkles right there that, you put a little bit of gold rope over that. You'll never even notice the wrinkles. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to put that bead of glue right on the corner as much as possible. It really does help with the effect. You don't want to get too far in by any means. I thought I was going to run out of this, and I started stretching it, which is something you can do with this stuff. Thank God. I'm getting right there on the very edge for a better effect, But now that I know I don't have to stretch it, it's going to look better also. We just keep going around like that. Show you what it looks like when we get done. Well, it helps to have one big, long, continuous string, but I didn't. This is actually what I would use for, I go around the bottom of antler burrs, but you still get it where it'll just kind of match up, and better luck next time. Next time it's better to just get a long, continuous, piece. So you don't have to worry about doing this kind of stuff. But watch out for spider webs and mesh it up real good right there. That's what we got right there. And get rid of the spider webs. I put it in a place where there's a lot of hair, where it's a lot less noticeable. That was on purpose, because I knew I had to do something like that. Didn't have one continuous piece, but that looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain. Well, when the deer's on the wall, this is what they're going to see at the back of it. It'll be shown from the side. And the hanger's going to be on the back where the mounting stand's connected to the form. So this is kind of what they're going to see. It'll look okay.